You've got smart bulbs, a smart lock, a thermostat, and 4 different apps just to run your own house. Your voice assistant dims the living room but cannot reach the deadbolt. An automation that worked Tuesday is broken by Friday. Your smart home does not work together, and that is not a bug, it is by design. Since 2004, 4 competing wireless protocols and 3 rival ecosystems were each built to do one thing: keep you locked in. The result is a 20-year mess that one new standard is finally trying to untangle, and it is already running into serious trouble. In 2004, engineers introduced Zigbee, aiming to connect light bulbs and sensors without draining batteries. Zigbee's mesh network let devices relay messages across a home using a 2.4 GHz radio that kept hardware costs low, but it required every device to speak the same protocol. In 2005, Z-Wave took a different path. Its sub-gigahertz frequency gave it longer range and less interference from Wi-Fi or microwaves, making it popular for security sensors and locks. Z-Wave, however, was tightly controlled. Devices needed certification, and technical details stayed within the alliance. By 2007, Wi-Fi had become the go-to for high bandwidth needs, cameras, speakers, even some lights, but its star network and power demands made it ill-suited for battery-powered sensors. Reliability faded at the edges. Thread arrived in 2014, merging Zigbee's 2.4 GHz radio with full IP version 6 support. Each device gained a unique address, and the mesh could self-heal if a node failed. Thread's open standard encouraged broader adoption. Each protocol was shaped by its committee's priorities: power, range, openness, or speed, resulting in separate technical worlds within the same home, each with its own set of rules and boundaries. By the middle of the 2010s, the smart home was no longer just about radios and sensors. It became a contest of ecosystems. Amazon launched Alexa in 2014, inviting device makers to earn an Alexa-compatible badge if they passed certification and tied into Amazon's cloud. Apple introduced HomeKit a year later, in 2015, but with stricter rules. Only devices that met Apple's hardware and encryption standards could carry the HomeKit label, and manufacturers had to license Apple's MFI chip. Google followed with its Assistant in 2016, rolling out its Works with Google Assistant program that required deep integration with Google's application programming interfaces. Certification was not just about technical safety, it was a way to steer device makers toward exclusive partnerships. Brands faced a choice: invest in multiple certifications or pick a single ecosystem and market to those users. For homeowners, this meant that a bulb or lock might only work with one voice assistant, and adding a new device could require a different app, a separate hub, or even replacing existing gear. The result was a patchwork of devices that talked past each other, with every platform owner nudging users to buy deeper into their world. The business logic behind these walled gardens put convenience and compatibility at odds and set up the daily frustrations that still define the smart home today. A living room glows half bright. A homeowner taps a goodnight scene, expecting every light to dim, but the LIFX bulb in the bedroom stays stubbornly on, while the IKEA trad-free lamp in the hallway fades out as planned. The app says both devices are online, but only one listens. After 3 tries and a round of app switching, the owner posts on a forum: "Why do I need 2 apps for my own lights?" In another home, a nightly routine is set to lock the doors with a single voice command. The August smart lock clicks shut, but the Yale lock on the back door doesn't budge. The Alexa app flashes a device unreachable alert, even though the Yale Secure Bridge dashboard shows a green connection. Logs reveal the August lock waits for a cloud handshake, while the Yale lock expects a quick Zigbee response. The result is a routine that leaves one door unlocked, sometimes for hours. The homeowner writes in frustration, "I just want both locks to work at the same time." These stories play out across thousands of homes. Mixing LiFX Wi-Fi bulbs with trad-free Zigbee lamps means juggling 2 apps, 2 hubs, and 2 sets of routines. Combining August and Yale locks invites cloud delays and missed commands. According to a 2024 survey, 28% of households report at least one device, not responding event each month, with lighting and lock routines leading the complaints. The dream of a single command fades with every missed scene, every duplicated automation, and every support ticket that ends with try using just one brand. A thermostat lags behind a voice command. The Honeywell T9 waits for a cloud handshake while the Ecobee tries to process the same request. Sometimes both freeze for seconds before showing any change. The app spins, the temperature stays put, and a simple comfort tweak becomes a guessing game. For homeowners, the uncertainty grows when routines depend on cloud servers hundreds of miles away. A missed command is more than an annoyance. It can mean waking up to a cold house or a system that never actually responds. Video doorbells tell a similar story. Ring, owned by Amazon, routes every notification and video clip through Amazon Web Services. On February 14th, 2021, a regional Amazon Web Services outage silenced thousands of Ring doorbells across the United States. No motion alerts, no live view, no way to answer the door remotely. The outage lasted hours, leaving homes without a basic layer of awareness. UEFI doorbells, which store video locally, escaped the worst of it, but the event exposed just how fragile cloud-only setups can be. Cloud dependence means even the best hardware can become useless if a server goes down or a connection stutters. A homeowner sums it up. I told Alexa to set the thermostat 3 times before it worked. Then my doorbell went offline for the rest of the night. These failures aren't rare. Cloud outages, lag, and missed automations are the hidden costs of relying on remote infrastructure. The promise of smart convenience turns brittle when every device waits for a distant server to respond. In a world where reliability should be a given, the risk of a single provider's outage can leave an entire home stuck in limbo. Matter's promise starts with its unified application layer built on IP version 6. Instead of relying on a hub to translate between different radio languages, every Matter device gets its own address, just like a laptop or phone, on your network. This means a smart lock, a light switch, or a thermostat can communicate directly and securely, without waiting for a cloud server hundreds of miles away. The protocol is royalty-free, so manufacturers aren't paying licensing fees for each device they ship. That opens the door for broader adoption and fewer artificial barriers between brands. Thread, the mesh backbone preferred by Matter, takes this further. Each device in a Thread network can relay messages, forming a web that covers the entire home. If one device drops offline, the mesh reroutes traffic automatically. In field tests, Thread networks recovered from a lost router in under 3 seconds, much faster than Zigbee or Z-Wave. Packet loss stays under 1%, and command latency typically measures less than 30 milliseconds. For a homeowner, that means pressing a button or issuing a voice command triggers lights or locks almost instantly, even if the internet is down. Security is at the core. Every Matter device must support encrypted local communication and only installs firmware updates that are cryptographically signed by the manufacturer. Over-the-air updates aren't optional. They are a requirement, and each one must pass an attestation check to prevent malicious code. The Connectivity Standards Alliance, called CSA, oversees this process, ensuring that no device gets certified without meeting these standards. As one CSA tech lead put it, Matter is the answer to a decade of siloed IP layers. When Thread and Matter work together, The result is a smart home that is fast, resilient, and secure. No more waiting for the cloud, no more juggling apps, and no more worrying about a single point of failure. The architecture finally puts user experience and reliability at the center, not just technical compatibility. Setting up smart lights used to mean a maze of steps and apps. Take a Philips Hue bulb. First, plug in the bridge, connect it to your router, install the Hue app, create an account, pair the bulb, then link the bridge to your platform of choice, Alexa, Google, or Apple. Each step adds a new layer to troubleshoot. If you want to add a Lifex bulb, that is another app, another account, and no guarantee both will work in the same scene. For many, a simple lighting routine turns into a juggling act between 3 or more apps, just to get the living room and bedroom lights to dim together. Thread-based devices promise a smoother path. With an Eve thread sensor, onboarding drops to a scan of a QR code in your smart home app. The sensor joins the mesh instantly, no bridge, no extra accounts, and no waiting for a cloud handshake. If the network changes, Thread's self-healing mesh reconnects automatically. Adding a new sensor takes under a minute, and the device appears in every compatible app that supports Thread and Matter. Matter brings the biggest leap. A Moros Matter smart plug, for example, needs only a single scan. The plug registers with your preferred controller, whether that is Google Home, Apple Home, or Alexa, and shows up instantly in all linked ecosystems. No extra app is required, and no cloud account stands in the way. Routines update in real time, and the same plug can be controlled from multiple apps without any repairing. Where legacy setups demanded 3 apps and 10 steps, Matter onboarding takes just 1 scan and works across brands. This shift is not just about speed. It means fewer passwords to remember, fewer apps to update, and far less troubleshooting. For homeowners, it is the difference between dreading device setup and trusting that new gear will fit right in. Matter certified devices are beginning to appear across the smart home market, though the selection remains limited compared to early promises. The Connectivity Standards Alliance database, current as of the first quarter of 2024, lists hubs, lighting, audio equipment, and a handful of appliances that have cleared certification and are shipping now. Nanoleaf's Essentials bulbs and strips offer Matter over Thread support out of the box. No bridge required, just a scan of the QR code. Samsung's SmartThings Hub version 3 includes a built-in Thread border router, bringing both older Zigbee devices and new Matter products together under one roof. Sonos has updated its Era 100 speaker for Matter, enabling local playback control from any major platform, though music streaming still relies on the cloud. LG has started selling Matter certified refrigerators and washers, but only in regions where Connectivity Standards Alliance labs have approved them in North America, Europe, and select Asia Pacific markets. Lighting and plugs remain the most common Matter categories. Nanoleaf, LIFX with 2024 firmware, and IKEA trad-free bulbs can join a Matter network, but older models often need a certified bridge. Major hubs such as Amazon Echo 4th generation, Google Nest Hub, Apple HomePod Mini, and Samsung SmartThings Hub version 3 now act as Thread border routers, supporting a mix of brands. Audio is expanding, with Sonos and Amazon Echo Studio rolling out Matter updates. LG's appliance lead notes that getting a fridge certified is a different beast than a light bulb. The Connectivity Standards Alliance database remains the definitive source for confirming true certification, as the market balances certified devices, bridge-dependent upgrades, and products still awaiting updates. Start with a clean inventory. List every smart device in your home, bulbs, locks, sensors, thermostats. Then note which radio each device uses Zigbee, Z-Wave, Wi-Fi, or Thread. A simple spreadsheet works. Add columns for brand, model, firmware version, and which app or ecosystem controls each device. This step reveals which gadgets can be upgraded and which are stuck on legacy protocols. Next, check which devices already support Matter or can receive a firmware update. Look for the Matter badge on packaging or in the Connectivity Standards Alliance database, CSA. For older gear, see if the manufacturer offers a bridge or hub update. Philips Hue bulbs, for example, become Matter compatible through the Hue Bridge version 2 with firmware from 2024. Now, focus on your hub. A Thread border router is essential for a resilient Matter network. Devices like the Google Nest, Wi-Fi Pro, Apple HomePod Mini, or Amazon Echo 4th generation can double as border routers. Place the border router near the center of your home, away from thick walls or metal appliances. In multi-story homes, consider adding a second border router or a Thread repeater on another floor to avoid dead zones and reduce command latency. If you are using Home Assistant or SmartThings, check for Matter bridge integrations. These let you keep legacy Zigbee and Z-Wave devices in play while adding new Matter gear. Always update hub firmware before onboarding new devices. Manufacturers roll out critical security and compatibility patches regularly. Once the network is ready, recreate your automations in your Matter-enabled app or local controller. Test each routine. If a device fails, check its firmware and bridge status, or consult the CSA database for known compatibility issues. This stepwise approach reduces headaches and sets up your home for future upgrades. Even as Matter-certified devices hit the shelves, real-world obstacles can trip up even the most careful buyer. Certification labs are working through a surge of new products, with average turnaround times now topping 70 days. That delay means some brands keep shipping older firmware while waiting for approval. So a device marked as Matter ready might not be fully certified when it lands in your cart. The Connectivity Standards Alliance's latest audit found a 2% mislabel rate. Roughly 1 in 50 devices shipped with a QR code or badge that did not match its actual certification. For a homeowner, that can mean a smart plug or bulb refuses to join your network or fails halfway through setup, leaving you with a return or a support ticket. Firmware updates are another minefield. In 2025, a bug in the Matter over-the-air update process allowed unsigned firmware to slip through, bricking thousands of Thread-based devices before the issue was patched in version 1.2. Devices shipping after April 2026 must run the fixed stack, but plenty of older stock remains in circulation. Before buying, check the packaging for a Matter version label, and if it does not mention 1.2 or later, ask the retailer or scan the QR code with your smart home app to verify. Hardware limitations can also block upgrades. Some early smart bulbs and locks simply do not have enough memory for the full Matter stack, making firmware updates impossible. Security researcher Carsten Knoll points out, legacy devices built without secure attestation cannot be retrofitted. The only safe path is replacement. Automation routines may break after an update, especially if they rely on cloud-only features or brand-specific APIs. Always export your automation scripts before applying new firmware, and check the vendor's documentation for known issues. The safest route is to confirm certification in the Connectivity Standards Alliance database, verify the label and firmware version, and plan upgrades in phases, starting with devices you rely on most. These small steps can save hours of troubleshooting and help your smart home actually work together. Every smart home has its own story. Some routines work like magic until a firmware update breaks the flow, or a new device just refuses to join the party. Maybe you have spent hours troubleshooting a light that will not dim, or You have watched a lock stay stubbornly offline while every app insists it is connected. Perhaps you have found a clever workaround, or you are still searching for one. This is the reality for millions of people trying to make their devices play nicely together. If you have faced these frustrations, you are not alone. Share your own pain points, wins, or even the moments when you almost gave up. What is the one device or routine that drives you up the wall? Have you found a trick that finally brought everything together? Or is there a feature you wish existed? Drop your stories, screenshots, or questions below. The more voices join in, the better the advice and solutions we can surface for everyone. Whether you are a first-timer or a seasoned do-it-yourselfer, your experience can help someone else avoid the same headaches. Let us build a smarter, more reliable home, one comment at a time. Right now, a device with the right logo can mean the difference between seamless control and daily frustration. With Matter still in rollout, not all products deliver on the promise, not yet. For anyone building or upgrading, reading the fine print isn't optional. The future of the smart home depends on what you buy today. Let me know your biggest smart home headache in the comments.